Sources are telling CBS News that Israel is ready to launch an operation on Iran. But we are also learning that the White House is not currently planning for a joint military attack with Israel. The president posted on Truth Social that the U.S. remained committed to reaching a diplomatic resolution to the Iran nuclear issue. And he said he had directed his entire administration to negotiate with Iran. CBS News senior White House correspondent Weijia Jiang joins us now. And Weijia, what is the latest from the White House about a potential Israeli strike?
Well, today, President Trump was directly asked about how imminent an attack was, and he said he did not want to use that word, but acknowledged that it's something that could happen, and certainly actions speak louder than words. And we know that the administration has warned personnel in the region to leave. And so that sends a message. The president was asked why. He is asking Americans to leave the region. And he said because it could be dangerous. But he's really not offering any specificity, any details about that attack. He did say, however, that he has not heard anything directly from Israel. But obviously, there is information that they are working off of, Nancy, and our reporting shows that Israel is preparing for a potential attack. But to your point, sources also tell us that the administration does not want to be directly involved, does not plan to offer military support or be involved directly in this operation at all. But that is very different from responding if Iran responds to an attack and the conflict escalates and you have American facilities and people who could be impacted. Of course, that could merit a response from U.S. troops. So everyone is watching this very carefully, Nancy. But the president made clear today that he does not want a conflict, especially as long as the U.S. continues to try to broker a deal with Iran. And we know that in the coming days, his top advisor on this, Steve Witkoff, is going to be meeting for a sixth round of talks to try to get them across the finish line.
Yeah, and on that note, what do we know about where things stand with those talks?
Well, it really depends on the give and take here, Nancy, and what kind of concessions Iran might be willing to give. Previously, the administration said their red line was that Tehran would enrich 0% of uranium, which is required to make a nuclear weapon. Iran wants to enrich a lower amount for civilian use for nuclear power. So the question is whether the administration is going to accept those terms. Now, the president today stressed that under no conditions can Iran have a nuclear weapon, but that still doesn't answer the question of whether they're willing to move that goalpost and allow them to enrich some uranium, Nancy.
Weijia Jiang, always very good to see you. Thank you very much.